Alright, this time you make it. You guys start to pick up the pace, then begin to leave the storm behind you, with Logan's left arm bleeding from the blow that he just took. After riding for a good 1 or 2 hours, you get confident the storm is quite a ways off behind you, and the mood begins to lighten up. But you do not lose pace, you continue to ride forward. If you check your map, you will know that up ahead is, let's see, what was it called? Up ahead is the halfway fort. It's basically something that was built after the demons came. It was meant to be spearheading the troops of the Holy Crusade on their way to the demon portal. So back in the day, a lot of troops actually passed through here, but now it's been mostly abandoned since most of the area is now completely under demon control. The fort itself still stands, and hopefully it's abandoned. The fort is built in a very nice location, and it's easily defendable. This looks like a great place to greet an enemy. However, as you get closer, you quickly realize that there are some lights and fires in the fort. Somebody is here. Everybody get ready in case it's demons. Theron, just in case it's humans, try to cover up that knight so they don't see him.
I put my shirt on his head.
Perfect.
As soon as we get close to the fort, let's get rid of the horses. They will only give us away.
Alright. Should, if we've got a few minutes, I can take a look around before we head in. That would give us an idea what we're walking into.
Sounds good, let's do that.
Alright, once we bring the horses to a stop, I will...
You continue to ride until the fortress is just a few minutes away, and then you disembark from horseback and dispel the horses. You guys take a break, and while Theron is getting ready to summon the spirit, Logan is busy wrapping up his wound and disinfecting it.
So, assuming it is the demons, we are killing them?
Perish the thought. We'll use them as bait.
What do you mean, bait?
The storm doesn't care what it attacks. We'll let it attack the demons, and then we'll take the storm.
Then
So
how does
this-
our strategy change if it's humans?
It doesn't change at all.
Ah, splendid.
Is that a
So
problem?
the-
He looks around towards the others.
No, simple and efficient.
The demon then that we're going after is this storm?
Yes.
Now we fight for weather.
The demon we're facing is the one causing the storm.
So, what am I looking for?
What do you mean?
Well, what is the demon's weak spot? What am I attacking?
I sadly don't have that much information. However, if we kill enough of its knights, it will reveal its true self. Then we just have to kill it.
Oh, as long as it's that easy.
Yeah, well, it's never that easy in my experience, so... Let's hope there's a first time for everything.
Alyssia points to the knight Theron has. Is that thing dead?
Yeah, it seems pretty dead.
I give his head a few extra degrees of turn just to make sure.
Oh yeah, that thing is dead as shit. While you're doing that, Logan finishes patching up his shoulder and says, Vendrik, isn't this where you're supposed to do something? Anyway, Theron, are you ready?
Yeah. So I
Right.
will sit down then and cast.
As you cast your spirit, you enter the fortress. What you see is honestly a bit underwhelming. You see a lot of human soldiers in heavy plate armor. They seem to be paladins, and not just paladins, a few regular soldiers as well from different kingdoms. They seem to be a mishmash of survivors. You see that the mood is pretty bad. Most of them are wounded. Some are extremely exhausted. There are a few fresh graves around, and there's some sobbing and cries coming from inside the fortress. Presumably somebody mourning the dead. The situation is pretty dire here. But they don't even have anybody on watch right now. They're easy pickings if somebody ambushes them. They're not even thinking about proper military protocol or anything. They're basically just waiting to die right there.
This is soldiers from both sides.
Can they fight?
Yeah, you said it's a mismatch of soldiers.
Yeah,
right?
there seem to be some paladins. There are also some soldiers, regular soldiers from different kingdoms. They're basically survivors from different battalions.
But they're at least coexisting. They're not.
Honestly,
fighting
they're so
each other.
tired and so battle worried that they seem kind of worthless. It's not that they're
Okay.
coexisting, it's just that they've been so battered by war that they're just completely out of it.
Okay.
I suggest we drop in unannounced.
Yeah, I passed that on. Yeah, to everyone else.
This isn't going to work. It sounds like they're worthless. We're gonna need to give them a kick up if they're gonna do some work for us.
How do you plan on doing that?
I'm
What?
not planning on doing anything. You're the leader. Motivate them to fight.
I don't know these people.
Well, that's not their problem. And it's not mine. It's yours.
Wonderful, she says as she rubs the back of her head. She's
Tell
clear.
them that they can either stand there, mop around and wait for death, or they can pick up their swords and their shields and do something about it. You hear from the gate below you that Logan is yelling up to you, Iris, go find the one in charge.
She goes off and does so.
As you enter the keep, Iris, you see that there's a few dead soldiers sprawled around, and there's only one person actually weeping and looking over the dead. You assume that's probably the man in charge since he's alone.
So yeah, the people inside are mourning then.
There's only one person mourning. Everybody else is dead inside. Their corpses.
Okay. So she announces herself and then goes, "Captain, your men need you outside."
Why? What more can they take from us?
There's a threat coming. Another demon. Storm.
This is it. This is where we die after all we went through. Fucking hell.
Punch him.
She's gonna get close and say, "What makes you think you're gonna die?"
This is your first day on the battlefront. What is left but death? I don't have many men left. I picked up some stranglers of what's left from different units as well. I don't think anybody's really capable of fighting. They don't have it left in them.
By the way, at that point, she's gonna cross her arms and laugh. She's gonna go, "That's perfect. We have people with different skills. The enemy will never be expecting us."
Your sense of humor is lost on this person who is in a very bad shape of mind still. But your GM approves of it greatly.
But the thing is, she's gonna basically pat him on the chest and go, "So, do you intend to let these men that you saved die?"
In the meantime, you see that Logan has taken the liberty of preparing a few small traps around the keep's windows and doors.
Any specific instructions, Iris?
First, we need a killing field. Our mages can handle AoEs, but we need them...
AoEs, I'm sure that's something that's very appropriate for this conversation.
Hmm?
AoEs. This is not an RPG, motherfucker.
Oh, I said AoE? I thought... No, I sorry. Need area spells. I've seen them. Use them. But, if you're gonna go, we need them to head straight there. If they're after what we think they're after, then Theron and me should be there, waiting for them.
By the way, while you guys are having this conversation, the captain has is over to his men and he's talking to them. They're starting to get up on their feet as well.
I suppose I will find a good spot and await the arrival of the bigger prey.
That's a good idea. Make sure that these things don't overflank us. And also, if that big one turns up, focus it down.
Like I said, you still have 20 minutes, so if you wish to do some stuff, you have a bit of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. It's like, I'm gonna warn them, I suggest you take over full body, like, metal armor off.
What? Why?
Lightning.
Yeah, well, how are we meant to protect ourselves from swords, from claws, whatever we're facing?
Do you not have any leather shields that are not full metal?
Stuff like that's worthless on the battlefield. What are you saying? It seems that these guys have no respect for lighter, more mobile equipment.
Yeah, I noticed.
I want full protection type of guys.
I bet these people don't even have to go, like, on foot anywhere. They just have, like, horses or chariots or some shit.
Too?
People with full plate don't walk either.
Adam, not the time.
Always the time, mate. It's always the time.
It's like she's gonna go. Does this keep not hold any weapons? An armory?
It seems to have been mostly raided. There's not even food. This place has been long since abandoned.
Fine. Do you have any long-range weaponry?
No, just a few things we picked up as we were retreating from the front lines.
And I suppose you're not trained to fight without armor.
Fighting without armor would be suicide. Why would we train for that?
By the way, she just looks down to herself. She's just wearing a robe, and she looks up. Yeah, I wonder who.
But half our party is just wearing a robe.
No one's wearing armor in our party. No, maybe Alyssia. She's wearing leather or something, I think.
Yep.
Which is probably one of the reasons why you all look so odd to them.
Yeah, it's like, are you warriors?
I'm wearing a dress.
No, I'm a librarian.
I mean, the tankiest guy in the party was only just recently convinced to wear pants.
You guys are weird. Can we just say that? You guys are
Yeah, we are.
Right, so do you want to prepare some specific stuff? Maybe some traps or something else?
I do. I want to go... There has to be, like, spare, forgotten metal swords or something around, right?
Well,
It's
not
a
swords,
battle.
but there's probably some metal bars and stuff around.
Basically, in the killing field, I'm setting these up. Like, I'm just stabbing them into the ground. Well, I've also told the knights, because I suspect none of the catapults survived, none of the siege weaponry survived.
Oh no, there's nothing, dude.
Yeah. Like, is it... Like, I'm gonna suggest to some of the knights...
Actually, wait, roll me perception.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because I don't know what's exactly here I can work with.
Okay, I have to reward that. Right, on one of the upper floors of the keep, you see a branching out tower that's mostly destroyed, and because it's destroyed, you get a good look of it inside. There seems to be the small remains of a siege engine, a ballista type that fires big arrows. However, it seems that it's, by the looks of it, if it was left behind, it's probably broken. It's gonna take a while to get it in working order. Plus, from this distance, you can't tell in what kind of condition it is. So it's gonna take a while if you wanna, first of all, get there and see if it's usable.
But yeah, I'm gonna go. Right. You, and you. I want you up in that tower. If you cannot get the siege, report to me about the state of that siege weapon up there. If you can't, that ruins will have plenty of rocks to throw below.
Let's see. Roll me a charisma, actually. Give me a quick charisma.
I
Quick
guess that's
question.
persuasion.
No, you're not persuading them. It's something else.
There's no such thing as a charisma. That's not a saving roll.
Yeah,
It needs to be a
wait,
skill.
Just make a flat roll. Just flat. You
Just a
click
flat
charisma.
charisma, dude. Give me a flat roll.
Just click on the word where it says charisma.
Look, see? You just click.
That's a saving roll. It's not an actual
no,
thing.
Yeah,
No, that's not a
actual
save.
It's fine.
charisma
Just
work.
do it.
Yeah, I've done it.
This is the save. This is the regular roll. The different,
Like, you click on just the word charisma
like
14,
the
is that
ability
yours?
score.
Okay,
with your
good.
stats.
So you look out a little bit. One of the boys says that he actually knows a little bit, not much, but a little bit about siege weapons. So the rest of them are absolutely clueless. So even if you send them there, it would have been absolutely worthless. But this guy seems to know a little bit, so hopefully he'll get lucky. As you say, the captain sends those guys up there to take care of the siege. Siege weapon and seeing what kind of condition it is. Right, in the meantime, Vira, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, can I find any armor lying around? Just like spare, even
Sadly,
really
apart
fucked
from
up
what
armor?
the soldiers are using, there's nothing else, but there are some metal bars and leftover metal things from the keep.
Okay, I was thinking of making a couple scarecrows, but that's not gonna work.
You can use the metal and use prestidigitation to sort of make it like scarecrows.
Oh, because I was basically just gonna make like hollow soldier statues, just kind of sitting on the ground.
Sadly, I don't think you have enough materials to work with to make it. I'm afraid.
That's fine.
Is there
It'll
anything
work
else you
without
wish
it.
to do?
Besides kind of figuring stuff out and preparing stuff, not really. I have mending. If anything is broken, I can fix it.
I'm just spending my extra time after I've got a pile of some rocks, finding some smaller rocks and continue working with them on my shirt.
Sorry, what are you doing?
I'm basically turning the hem of my shirt to make the shirt like a bolo rather than actually having to wear my shirt.
Oh.
That's the long-term project, is over time when I've got time in between. So even here I've got 10 minutes, he's not concerned.
Okay, cool.
Work on a couple
Anything
more
else you
rocks to
guys
the
want
shirt.
to do right now? Alyssia, I'm assuming that you're looking for a good vantage point up above?
Pretty much.
Okay, gotcha. It takes about 10 minutes to hear back from the guys that went up there. The siege engine is obviously not operational, but it seems like it can be fixed. However, it's gonna take a while. They're not sure how long, and they're asking for help since only one of them knows what he's doing. The others are pretty worthless up there.
I can help. I have mending.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, with that in mind, I'm gonna say that the siege weapon is gonna be, thanks to your help, repaired right on time. Anything else you guys wanna prepare?
I'm just gonna run back to my station really quick. Also,
I'm
dang
gonna
it.
say that since you're gonna be dealing with that, Vira, you cannot do anything else even if you want to. The rest of you have a little bit of time if you wanna do something else.
Nope, I'm good. Just working on the shirt.
Well, I was basically making the dispersing field type thing with all the swords.
Oh, you wanna use them to attract lightning, is that right?
Yeah, I'm basically putting the poles into the ground so it uses some lightning rods.
Okay, cool. That's a good idea. What about you, Vendrik? Anything in specific you wanna prepare?
Okay, I'm gonna substitute it. You'd still be able to cast it on an air elemental, right, Vira?
Yeah, as long as the creature is willing, I can do it.
Okay, then our plan has only changed slightly.
Okay, cool.
I'm just
since you guys
basically
are
writing
ready,
glyphs,
you
preparing to
get
summon
into
an air
position
elemental.
and prepare for the incoming storm. The captain has more or less managed to organize his soldiers, and they have set up around the courtyard, but towards the keep further in. What's left of the heavy doors outside have been closed, and despite their better judgment, they've decided to trust you and decided that protecting the walls is a pointless endeavor. Logan is near the keep's entrance along with the guards, overlooking the courtyard up ahead. Where are the rest of you stationed?
Somewhere high where I can hide and snipe from.
Right. What about you, Iris?
I'm basically going to be in the courtyard. Yeah, hopefully
I'm
with
assuming
Theron.
Theron's probably there with you.
Yeah, I'm in the middle wherever I get to kill the most people.
Face them
Right,
head on.
after you're finished taking care of the ballista, the other soldiers take up position and get ready to, well, use it. What about you, Vira and Vendrik? Where are you guys going to be?
Gonna be sort of overlooking the courtyard
Yep, I'm gonna be
from
with
the
Vendrik.
keep or from the walls?
from the. That depends. Does the keep lead onto the walls or?
The keep and the walls are actually not connected.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the keep then, as long as I can see out onto the courtyard.
Okay. What about you, Vira?
I'm standing with Vendrik. Also,
Gotcha.
quickly, before they arrive, can I do a major image of like a crowd in the death pit?
You mean some kind of illusion magic to make it look like there's people there?
Yeah, basically just frighten terrified people.
What spell are you using?
That one. Major image.
Let's see. Yeah, you can do that, that's fine. I'm assuming you wanna make a few soldiers there to act as bait, right?
Yeah, basically as many soldiers as I can kind of fit in a 20-foot area, and they're basically just gonna be like looking terrified. Some of them are gonna just be on the ground holding their head between their knees or something.
Perfect. You can definitely do that. Right. It's not long before you start hearing the crackling of the storm getting closer and closer. It's about to hit you. The wind is actually picking up. As you can imagine, the soldiers down in the courtyard behind you, Iris and Theron, are starting to quake and shake in their boots. They are still not, shall we say, in prime condition for a fight. But at least they have their swords drawn and their shields ready, so that's something, right? Better than nothing.
True, but like, Iris is she's got her hands on her hips and they're going, "Isn't this just exciting?" She's like smiling back towards the knights.
They don't seem to share your enthusiasm.
That's a shame.
And as you're making that joke, suddenly your voice is muffled by loud lightning. The place where you set up the illusion and the lightning rods is immediately struck. Not once, not twice, many times. And in that small area, enemies begin to appear one by one, and they begin slashing at the illusion.
Okay,
Quickly realizing that they're not making any headway around with it.
I'm gonna quickly basically have it so that the soldiers are trying their best not to get hit.
Well, we couldn't have asked for a better lunch up of them. I'd say now.
Yeah, this is
The lightning
concentration, so...
soldiers begin to descend. They seem to, because of the lightning rocks, for now be mostly focusing in the middle of the courtyard, which each thunderstruck blow, the earth beneath you trembles, and more lightning knights appear. You notice that just like the knight that you killed earlier, they seem to share the exact same armor. As in, this is not what seems to be a typical suit of armor. They actually seem to wear different types with different designs. However, all their markings, all their things that would distinguish them from each other have been removed. This is probably testimony to what Vendrik told you earlier about different knights uniting under one banner. They have discarded everything that made them unique, and thus they have left their armor very plain, since they now serve a new king. With a battle cry and well-trained maneuvers, the knights begin to form in one spot particularly, making a quick formation. Instead of saying anything, they raise their swords forward towards the keep and make a noble gesture as a sign of greeting and preparation for battle. This is probably their way of not only greeting you, but taunting you, and they get ready to charge you.
Well, here's our way of greeting them. The ground underneath them erupts in an air elemental.
Just a sec, let me get the turn order in order first. Right, we're missing one person, and that would be Theron because I removed him. Because he wasn't here last time, so give me a second, I need to add him.
Yep.
This is gonna probably hurt them quite a lot.
Yeah.
Right, everybody roll me initiative.
Why is it the only roll I can actually make is initiative?
Because you've got a fucking +8.
Yeah, but like
damn
it's
it.
the only time I actually roll about 10.
Join me, 10s for life.
Oh
Like,
wow, Vendrik, 11, that's gotta be a record for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like freaking like I have +7 to thieves too, and I can't fucking pick a lock. It's like yes, this is brilliant.
I'm not going last, if you can imagine it.
Right, Alyssia, you are up first. You see that the knights are saluting and getting ready to charge into formation. What do you do?
How many are there?
Sorry, I realized I had advantage on initiative. Apologies.
Oh,
Kick.
Because
so
of-
that's 21. Okay,
Yeah,
just a sec.
feral instinct. Yeah.
I mean, like how many knights are there currently?
Currently it's about 40 or 50, but there are gonna be more by the looks of it.
But they're outside the fortress, right?
Yes, they're inside the quote-unquote killing field in the middle of the courtyard.
Yeah, for now Alyssia gives 0 fucks. She's,
So, are you gonna
she's preparing
prepare
an
an
arrow,
action
but
or
she's not
something?
actually firing at anything.
Sorry, what?
She is, well, she's knocking an arrow, but she's not actually firing at anything. I don't know, like, do you have to prepare an action towards a specific target?
Well, no, you can say that you are preparing an attack for now. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll just prepare an action, like in case, you know, if in case the big guy actually shows up. Otherwise, it's like, whatever.
Okay, so Theron, it's your move. The knights in front of you have now given you a gesture of recognition and are also taunting you and are about to charge you. What do you do?
I'll turn back towards the knights behind us who are peeing their pants and say, drinks for whoever gets the most heads, and run straight at these guys.
Right, I'm
Raging.
assuming that you've positioned yourself well, so you are indeed close enough to charge at them. Do your worst.
Alright, raging, let's wreck some face. 27 and a 27.
Both hit, as you can imagine. Nice.
There we go. So 36 points of damage.
You charge forward, and even though these guys are ready, they have already made a wall of shields to greet you, you just completely blow past the shields, ignoring them in your rage. and you start hacking and slashing the first knight you see on the other end of it. You manage to inflict some pretty heavy, deep wounds on him. You see that his armor is actually cracking, and it's almost worthless. It's actually gonna slow him down. However, he refuses to fall before you.
Hey! What? Twice?
You got to next.